Hi everyone, myself Nitish. As you know, we are in the part 2 video, which will be concentrating on disinfection. Part 1 video we completed with the disinfection, some of the factors. So we are continuing with part 2. We'll just recall the matter which we discussed. Okay, so that is definition we discussed and water related diseases, very important diseases we discussed. After that, need of disinfection of a water, what is disinfection versus sterilization, and disinfection objectives and approaches, and disinfection mechanism, typical methods of disinfection and properties which involved in the disinfectant and factor. So now today we are going to discuss very important matter, very important matter, that is chlorination for a disinfection. What is chlorination? What is chlorination means? Chlorine is a disinfectant, guys. Okay, chlorine is a very good disinfectant, very important point. That is chlorination. One of the important factor in the disinfection in our Indian scenario, that is chlorine. So this chlorine is the most common disinfectant method involved in the addition of some form of a chlorine, or it's a compound such as chloramine or chlorine dioxide. Okay, chloramine or chlorine dioxide. Okay, this is one of the important parameter, or chlorine dioxide. Okay, this is the compound we are using, or else in the form of chlorine, or it's in the compound such as chloramine or chlorine dioxide which you are going to use. It is the most common disinfectant methods. Chlorine is a strong oxidant. Okay, it is a very strong oxidant, which we already I told in the previous slide. It is a good oxidant. Okay, in this oxidant rapidly kills many harmful microorganisms. It will rapidly kill the chlorine. That is, many harmful microorganisms are there. That will be, it is a good disinfectant. That is, oxidation of membrane bound enzymes for a transport of oxidative phosphorylation. That is, phosphorylation happens. That is the oxidation of member bound enzymes and oxidation of cytoplasmic enzymes. That is also a important, cytoplasmic enzymes and oxidation amino acid and nitric. This is one of the important parameter which will be involved in the process of chlorination. That is nitro acid, nitrates and aldehydes. Okay, and oxidation of nucleotic bases. This is which will be through this which will be going to kill the harmful microorganisms. Chlorine substitution in onto amino acids and DNA mutation. Okay, chlorine when added to a water react with a reduced state of compound present in the water. The further react with a water itself. The chlorine reaction water nitrogenous compounds present in the water produces the chlorine residual which are able to kill the microorganisms. This is what which will be its slide says. Okay, if we concentrate on another slide, the chlorine reaction in the water. How the chlorine reaction takes place in the water? When the chlorine enters water, it starts reacting organic compound. Okay. First of all, when the chlorine is entered to the water, enters to the water, it starts reacting with organic compound, other reducing agents. Such as hydrogen sulfide or ferrous ions and manganese the first duty of chlorine is nothing but when the water, it will not directly kill. First it will react with organic compound and other reagents like hydrogen sulfide, therefore ferrous ions, that is ionic ions like ferrous ions, manganese ions, nitrite ions. So it will be react with this. After that, whatever the chlorine will be remaining, which will be used for microorganisms. So the dosage is very important when we are concentrate, when we are adding the chlorine dosage, the amount of dosage in such a way that amount of dosage should be take the picture. Before that, we should take the picture of organic compound, also hydrogen reaction, where it will only whether it will react with the microorganisms or else it will react with these many parameters. The chlorine added usually first react with such compound, all such compound, if in the water. If present in the water only, please remember. Because if the present in the water, they will react with that. Or else, before forming any chlorine residuals. Okay? The chlorine added usually first react with all such compounds in water before forming any chloride residues. The amount of chlorine that required or consumed these reactions in terms of chlorine demand. See, very, very, very important concept. See now, the amount of chlorine that required or consumed for these reactions. What reaction? For the reaction with organic compound as well as the reducing agents such as hydrogen sulfide, ferrous ions and manganese ions. For that, the chlorine is required, that is called chlorine demand. Okay, that is called chlorine demand. Very importantly, you can say that is called chlorine demand. Okay. This is also a considered amount of chlorine needed before free chlorine can be produced. Sufficient quantity of chlorine must be added for disinfection so that after chlorine demand is met, there will be adequate chlorine left to produce the chlorine residues in the water. Clear? That is what the reactions which will be happening. This is the reactions in the water. Now, if you go to another slide, chlorine reaction in the water, that is usually chlorine reactions, free chlorine, like usually after satisfying the chlorine demand, what happens after satisfying your chlorine demand? Now the reaction, now once your chlorine demand is satisfied for the reaction for other than our microclimate water, then chlorine starts react with the water reacts with the water to form HOCl, that is what hypochlorous acid and OCl minus, that is called alpha ions in the water. It will form because after your reaction with the chlorine demand in this water, this is known as free chlorine. This is known as free chlorine residual and have a good disinfectant ability due to their strong oxidizing potential. Okay, chlorine may be added in the form of chlorine gas or hypochlorite or chlorine dioxide. Chlorine gases must be pure forms chlorine but difficult to handle in gaseous form. Yes, is it not? Any matter which is difficult to handle in the gaseous form. Anyway, but there is a process to apply to the water in the gaseous form also. But gaseous form, one more advantage is efficient, is good. Like the result is good in the gaseous form. Okay. Now If you concentrate, the chlorine gas is the most pure form of chlorine, but difficult to handle in the gas that I already told. Toxic, heavy, corrosive, and irritant. Usually, it compressed into a liquid and stored in metal cylinders. See reactions you can see that Cl2 plus H2O that is equal to HOCl. HOCl you know that hypochloric acid plus with HCl and HCl HOCl that is H plus OHCl that is your hypochlorous acid. This will be released. Okay. So now the disinfection, the interconversion of hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions, pH depends, very important, pH dependent, because your pH you have to maintain, that is the lower pH, that is almost 7.4. Okay, between two hypochloric acid as much as disinfectant ability than the hypochlorite ions. Therefore, disinfection with a chlorine is more efficient at low pH than high pH. Your disinfection is more efficient low pH than high pH. Okay, this is one of the important factors you should know. Okay. So now we'll move to another reaction, that is water chlorine reaction in the water, that is in the hypochlorite. Here we have discussed about hypochlorous acid as well as hypochlorite ion. So that hypochlorite is an also known as bleach. You can say it is bleach or bleaching powder or bleach, are less pure than the chlorine gases. Thus, they are also less dangerous. Further, the decomposed in strength over time while in the storage. Typically, these are three types sodium. There are three types in that. One is sodium hypochlorite and calcium hypochlorite and commercial bleach. Commercial bleach, you know that in the shop you are getting that bleaching powder. If you ask in any shop that is in the commercial market, you will get it in the. That is also a disinfectant. Okay. Now, if you concentrate on sodium hypochlorite, that is NaOCl, usually comes in the solution form, contain 12% of chlorine. Okay. This is like chlorine is added together. If you take calcium CaOCl2, that is comes in the both liquid as well as solid. You will get it in both liquid as well as solid form. Here, that is powder or granular forms and contain around 65 to 75% of the chlorine. This is also known as HTH, high test hypochlorite. Commercial bleach, that is in your grocery shop, if you ask bleaching powder, give bleaching powder, then they will give the bleaching powder of any company. That is has of 10% to 40%. That is depending upon the brand. Okay, 10 to 14% of bleaching powder ranges, and they will mention in the packet so and so amount of chlorine is there. So in that 10 to 40% of chlorine, that is also depend upon the brand. Okay, disinfection through the hypochlorites occur similar so that with the chlorine. However, the differences lie in the quantities to be based due to the different chlorine concentration and feeding, storage and handling procedures. That is also very important. Like chlorine, how your quantity of the chlorine used as well as the disinfection through the hypochlorites or occur similarly that chlorine. However, the difference lies in the quantities based on that is how you feeding, the storage and handling procedure. That is also an important factor which will make. Okay. So now the chlorine reaction in the water. How that is chloramination. Chloramination. That is chloramine or chloramination. Okay, that is, whatever you can say, that is depend upon that. So chlorine reaction in the water. 1 minute. So chlorine reaction in the water, that is chloramine. Actually, if you say, some plants use chloramines for a disinfection of water. Some plants, like water treatment plant, chloramines are chlorine and nitrogen-based chemicals compound forming during the reaction between chlorine. Please remember the reaction between the chlorine. Okay, chlorine. Reaction between the chlorine and ammonia, NH3. These are produced when ammonia, either already present or added, react with a free chloride, HOCl or OS minus, depending upon the pH. That is again I'm repeating, depending upon the pH. Ideal pH is already 0.84, 8.4 you can take to produce monochromine to monochloramine NH2Cl, which may react with a more hypochlorous acid to form a dichlorine NHCl2. Dichloramine and sequentially trichloramine. So now what I am saying here, some plants are using chloramines as a disinfection of water. Some plants are using chlorine. So here what happens in the chloramine, the chlorine and nitrogen based chemicals are added or formed during the reaction between chlorine and ammonia nitrogen. That is ammonia as the NH3 and chlorine. That is due to this reaction, the chloramine and nitrogen based chemical compound are formed. Okay, these are produced when ammonia either already present in the added, either already present or react with a free chlorine. Okay, that is HOCl if you say, or OS minus, depending upon the pH. This will produce monochloramine, which may react with a more hyperchlorous acid to form a dichloramine or subsequently trichloramine. You can see the very good reaction takes place here. That is NH3, which is ammonia, which will be added with your hypochlorous that is the form of what will be formed. If you see that hypochlorous acid, if you add it with the ammonia, that is ammonia, what happens? You will get NH2Cl, that is dichloramine. NH2Cl, monochloramine will form, and H2O, that is NH2Cl with HOCl, that is your HOCl. Okay, again HOCl, hypochlorous acid, you will get a dichloramine which again react with an HCl, that will be trichloramine, NH3, trichloramine. And this extent of this reaction depended upon the pH of the medium. Organic chloramines can also form during this reaction. Monochloramine and dichloramine can both be used as a disinfectant agent called combined or chlorine residual. Combined chlorine. That is the di and trichloramine. Okay, or monochloramine and dichloramine you can use. Okay. So now the extent of this reaction depend upon the pH and pH of the medium. And organic chloramines can also form during the reaction of monochloramine and dichloramine that I already discussed. Chloramines are weaker oxidants. See here, again one more concept, that chloramines are weaker oxidant than free chlorine residual. Okay, so have lesser disinfectant percentage among the chloramines, monochlor, as the highest disinfectant abilities. Monochloramine has highest disinfection abilities. These are the effective killing majority of pathogenic bacteria, some protozoas, but not very effective killing virus. Okay, please remember. However, chloramines are relatively more stable, so many times preferred as a disinfectant in the distribution lines with a water treatment system. Okay, that is chloramines are relatively more stable, so that many times preferred in the disinfectant distribution system. Okay, now chlorine reactions in the water. If you take again chlorine reactions in the water as a chlorine dioxide, we discussed many things. Chlorine reaction in the water we discussed as a chlorine demand, as a free chlorine residual, as a hypochlorite, as a chloramine, that is chloramination, and chlorine dioxide. Now we are coming chlorine dioxide reaction in the, that is chlorine reaction in the water as a chlorine dioxide, high solubility in the water, 5 times of the free chlorine. See, 5 times of the free chlorine, that is high soluble. Solubility is more in the chlorine dioxide because the dioxide oxygen. High oxidative potential, that is 6.3 times, that is 5 times than the chlorine, that only 20% is the neutral pH. 2.63 times of the free chlorine, effective at pH than other forms. Effective at pH than other forms. Okay. Now, if you say chlorine dioxide is the most effective form of chlorination, since why chlorine dioxide is the most effective form of chlorination, since it will kill protozoa. Cytoplasmidium, that is cytoplasmism, Giardia, and viruses that are other systems may not kill, other our systems may not kill, that is viruses. So here chlorine dioxide is very good. If anywhere the question is asked, like question in your GATE or any competitive paper, which of the forms of chlorine will be most effective, that you can say chlorine dioxide under chlorine. Okay, in addition to chlorine dioxide, oxygens are metal and organic, converting to organic matter to carbon dioxide and water. Chlorine dioxide can use it to remove sulfide compound and phenolic taste and odor. Contrary to chlorine, chlorine dioxide does not react with an ammonia nitrogen. Okay, that is also you have to. So why is it not chlorine used in all systems? Why we are not used? If this is the most effective forms of removing, because it removes virus and protozoa. Chlorine dioxide must be generated on site, which is very costly process required to create a deal of the technical expertise. That is, means it is costly as compared to other forms. Unlike chlorine gas, chlorine dioxide is highly combustible and care must be taken while handling the chlorine dioxide. That is one key factor. It is not much available used. Okay, that is about your chlorine processes. Now we'll study about breakpoint chlorination. Breakpoint chlorination. What is breakpoint chlorination? Very, very important. A clear figure you can see it, right? That clear figure you can see it here. Breakpoint chlorination. It may not come properly. This is for your information. Very important. see this is the graph which shows breakpoint chlorination. Now, see here, the one more important factor, chlorine gas, this is chlorine dosage. In the x-axis you can see chlorine dosage, and you can see in the y-axis chlorine. The y-axis you can see chlorine residual. We can see the residual in the chlorine. You know that what is residual? I already explained for you guys. Chlorine residual, isn't it? This is chlorine residual, right? Zone 1. There are zone 1. What happens in the zone 1? I already discussed for you. Very important. That zone 1 is chlorine demand. What is chlorine demand? It will be destroying or reducing, that is its reaction with an organic matter and hydrogen sulfide, or you can say ions, that is manganese, sulfide, nitrite, ion. So that is reducing agent, it will react to it. But zone 2 is not different. Zone 1 you got it now, right? But zone 2 is what? Zone 2 is nothing but, zone 2 is not, zone 1 is the reaction. Zone 2 is the formation of monochromine and chloroorganics, that is 5.1, that is your formation of monochloramine now. And zone monochloramine converting into, so here what happens, now this is the dosage. This is the dosage. This is the stage, is called monochloramine. Okay, here free ammonia, that is combined chlorine residuals. What is combined chlorine residuals? That's dichloramine and monochloramine. That is your monochloramine and dicamla, that is combined residual chlorine. And monochlor converting into dichloramine and nitrogen trichloride. That is nitrogen trichloride, here you can see. This is the under zone 4 process. You can see here the dosage required is more in this process and it will be reduced. And zone 4 free available chlorine for HOCl plus HOCl, 50% of each special. Here the breakpoint chlorination will be there. That is the final dosage, the zero dosage. Optimum free chlorine, that is 85%. That is chlorine dosage equal to chlorine demand plus chlorine residual. And chlorine residual. That is one more time I'll tell this very important matter. Okay, so very importantly we can say that this is about your breakpoint chlorination, what it says. We are all studied what are the process happened. So this is about your breakpoint curve where the 10:1 ratio, Cl2 is NH3N. This is the free available chlorine here. This is optimal free available chlorine, that is less than 85% of the total. This is available chlorine should be. This is the chlorine demand and this is the dosage requirement of the chlorine. And this is the chlorine residual. You can see here the total ammonia in the milligram per liter. You can see it here. This is free ammonia in this stage happens. I hope this is very good understanding technology of this graph. And here you can see the very important factor of breakpoint chlorine. This is the formation of the combined chlorine, that is monochlorine and dichlorine. So that is what it says in the every what I explained here for you. All are same thing, that is your monochromine and dichromine. You can see that both combined, its monochromine and dichromine can be used as a disinfectant. It is combined chlorine oxidant. Okay, I hope so. This is your got it for the today's part 2 video. We'll continue in the part 3 for the coming session. Thank you for listening. For today's we discussed mainly chlorination process in the disinfection. Chlorine, how the chlorine, and we have to study from next to chlorine, residual chlorine. What is residual chlorine part is remaining. We'll study in the next one.